Okay, David, I've got a question. We're all suffering during this change in the economy, wages, foreclosures, everything's going on right now. Divorce rate is not going away.
Divorce rate is actually in the basement.
It's going lower?
Way lower. Stop. Dead. No one's doing it. No one's getting divorced.
Why?
Can't afford to.
Nobody can afford
Properties aren't worth anything, so no one's getting divorced to split up the properties.
So that's a good sign, right?
Well, it is a good sign in some ways, in that there are actually families who are reconciling as a consequence because they're continuing to live in the house. And that's a good thing. But the divorce rate is not going up. It's actually going down.
So with this economy we're in, guys like me who are divorced, some guys out there that are having a hard time in this economy, losing jobs, losing income, we're talking about child support. And we're talking about that bill doesn't go away. And as a father rights advocate, my concern is that responsibility, which it is a responsibility, is maintaining the same course. However, the economy may jeopardize our wages and our incomes. What do we do about renegotiating this? Or are there any steps? Or general, can you give me some good news about what's going on right now with divorced families, divorced fathers who are paying child support? What are the present circumstances, and what advice can you give us in regards to father's rights in child custody?
The number one thing a man should do the day he gets laid off is he should call his lawyer and get his butt in there to file an order to show cause to modify the child support. The reason why is child support continues along at the current rate until it's modified. So if, say a guy's making $10,000 a month and he's paying $2,000 a month child support, which is not uncommon down in the areas you live. If he gets laid off, he could be out of work for 6, 8, 10 months easily for someone at that level. Well, the child support obligation is going to continue. But if he doesn't have the cash flow to pay that, he gets into arrears. He gets 2, 3 months into arrears, the court can take his driver's license. He gets 4, 5 months in arrears, his passport can be suspended. He gets 6 months in arrears, the ex is getting a little crazy, wants to put him in jail. In theory, it could happen.
So what you're saying here is, with the state of the way the economy is right now, people are losing jobs. And that means some single dads, some fathers are losing jobs.
Right.
And those dads that are paying child support right now, who are laid off, the first advice you can give them, the number one thing is immediately contact your attorney and disclose the job situation, disclose the income situation.
Absolutely. Because once an order to show cause has been filed, it sets a line in the sand. And that's the date that a judge can retroactively change the child support. They can lower it back to that date. So say that guy who was paying $2,000 a month child support files an order to show cause. He might not get into court for 2, 3 months. But if it gets lowered 2, 3 months down the road to $1,000 a month, the court can backdate that to when he originally filed. So he saved $3,000 simply by filing, even though he's not going to be in court for 3 months.
So if they don't file this, it looks like the consequences are pretty grim. The consequences could be that once he goes into arrears, it's going to be one heck of a journey back to catching up. And more importantly, if he falls too far behind in arrears, that could lead to suspended license, suspended passport, and possible jail time.
Correct. And a lot of times when these guys fall behind, they get so far behind, then penalties and interest start adding up, they're never going to get out.
So there's interest and penalties on top of what's being owed.
Correct. I have guys that come into my office and say, listen, I only owe $20,000 in child support, but I owe $40,000 or $60,000 in interest.
Wow.
I only make $30,000 a year. How am I ever going to pay that off? And I have to look at them and say, we have to get in, we have to try and get the judge to waive some of those interest charges and get you back down on a payment plan.
So it is negotiable. But you never want to be in that situation in the first place.
Right. You're going to spend a lot more time and a lot more money trying to dig yourself out of that hole than if you just get in on the front side and stay out of it.
How can you help our single dad members? What's the best steps that you can help? If there's somebody that has a question directed towards this type of situation with a job loss, an income loss, and child support in jeopardy, what's the best advice you can give our single dad members?
Call me, call your lawyer, set an appointment to come in. Let's get an order to show cause filed.
And how do they contact you?
David@mensfamilylaw.com, or you can go to my website, www.mensfamilylaw.com.
And make sure that they mention,
singledad.com, and get the free consult.
so a free consultation to any single dad member regarding this topic, as long as they mention single dad.
Correct.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.